Hey everybody, Dr. Kevin Hyde here with Pinellas Anxiety Specialists. It's day 17 of the 30 days of live videos, and today I want to talk a little bit about relationship killers. And this is based on research from John and Julie Gottman, who are pretty much the leaders in the field of couples and marriage counseling. And I'm really excited to be going through the certification process with them so that in a few months I'll be able to offer those services in my practice. And not there yet, still going through the process, but the things that they've put out there have it's been based on 30 plus years of research, observing thousands and thousands of married couples and dating couples from across the spectrum to really understand what makes relationships work and what are those things that kill relationships. And so today that's what I want to talk about, which is what they call the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. It's the 4 things that they found that really are likely to predict a relationship or a marriage that's not going to work out unless they're addressed. And the first thing is criticism. So this is where instead of listening to your partner and trying to understand, that you just go and criticize them. You call them out for things they're doing wrong, and just very negative with that. And then the other partner can do the same thing back, making it really hard to have a conversation and try to compromise and work together. The next part is defensiveness. So instead of being able to accept some responsibility for your actions in making the relationship to where it is, that you just get defensive, and instead of taking that responsibility, you just deny it, deflect it, and put it back onto your partner as the problem in the relationship. The next one is, criticism, defensiveness, stonewalling is one. And so that's where when one partner is trying to broach a subject and talk about something, the other person just kind of puts their hands across their chest and looks away and doesn't really acknowledge them, doesn't take part in it. And they found that happens because of a rush of adrenaline that comes through that process of arguing. And the heart rate tends to go up, and then people just don't want to participate. And so in most couples, this tends to be the men. They found that it's about 85% of couples, it's the man that does the stonewalling, but that's not always the case. And so this is something where it's hard to talk to someone when they're shutting you out, when they're ignoring you, just not responding, going off on their own, and that's called stonewalling. And the final piece of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse is contempt. And so this is where one partner just feels like they're better than the other, and they act that way. And so, again, this is deflecting responsibility that it's always the other person's fault because they're better than that, right? They have contempt for you because you're below them, and they treat you in that way. Okay, so those are the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and if you notice those things, criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling in your relationship, it might be time to reach out and talk to a professional, someone who's trained either in Gottman type of marriage counseling, or there's other types of marriage counseling like emotion-focused therapy with Sue Johnson is another big one out there. But just having somebody that can help you with a neutral perspective, help you learn how to communicate with each other, help you learn how to resolve those conflicts, help you learn how to remember that you were a team at one point and how you can get back to that point and figure out those values that you share as a couple so you can begin to move forward together instead of just butting heads with each other and continuing that downward spiral, which tends to be accelerated with those 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please leave it comments, shoot me a message. If you have anything you'd like me to cover in the next 13 days, I'd be happy to add it. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you tomorrow.